Hi, I just want to thank my enemies because the Lord said, wait a little while I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. And it's true, you will be able to rely on your enemies. When I moved into Wellington Square, I arrived with a pram and all my worldly goods on top. It wasn't too far, so I thought, why get a cab? You're a single parent. Pushed all my belongings on a pram into the square, going to move into my brand new flat, being the only person who's ever taken the property because it's brand new. As soon as I moved in with my son, I was facing racial harassment. This is my story. We have a nice large 6-metre balcony, which I'm going to show you. Excuse my face, I didn't put any makeup on, nothing. Doesn't matter. This morning, I guess I look okay. I just want to say thank you because you elevated me, and I've been given a hate crime number, and because of that, I've bidded on a property, which is a detached house, not a semi-detached. It's a house all by itself with no connecting bricks to the next house. So I've been given a whole house, 2-bedroom. Ha ha ha. Not going to be leaving nothing behind because you know what? Across the road there are a set of houses, and one of these houses have harassed me. I'll tell you a bit about that. I wanted to show you the balcony. There you go. Right. There are wicked people living across the road because as soon as they saw my son, the first thing they said was, look at that perverted black bastard. He was only 14 at the time. Yep. Moved here in 2007. See, I've got kitchen doors that lead from the balcony and the living room to the kitchen. Over here, those nasty racist neighbours, I'm going to tell you the full story. Over here we have some evil neighbours, very evil. I'll show you. Just down there, they stand on the pavement behind the parked cars, and when they're out, they look up at my house and shout out all sorts of rubbish, like go back home or whore, shouting the sister of the fat one that stands there all day selling drugs in Wellington Square. So I reported everything to the police. But I want to thank them. You know why? The mother, instead of her doing the right thing and saying to herself, you know what? My kids are bad. My son doesn't work. He's selling drugs all day, standing on the doorstep, even grooming children to collect his drugs and hand them to adults. Do you know what? You made me financially better and you've given me a better house. Now I want you to know the full story. The harassment went on to the point that every time I went on the balcony, there are 2 friends connected, one on my kitchen side and one on the other side. The moment I moved in here, they were shouting out, oh, they come here and they get everything. Come here, wait there. I didn't come here, I was born here. So anyway, I go on the balcony, nigger whore, go back home. And making monkey sounds, and which makes it worse. Number 3, that's the house next door to them. That's 3 people all doing racial harassment. One on that side of the house on the kitchen, and you know what? All 3 of them in the triangle know each other. So they racially harassed me as a group. So the house came out of their house and looked up at my balcony, and they're on the ground floor out there in a different block. Yeah, they're with Islington Council and I'm with the Guinness Trust. And they would look up and say, did you hear that? They were calling them black bastards and everything. Can you imagine? Oh, the cheek of it. Indirectly joining in. And then the other neighbour They would just constantly be making monkey sounds and saying, go back home, go back home. Oh, concentrating on my skin. Nigger whore, nigger whore. Do you know what? I have to laugh because wait till you hear the rest of the story. Now, I reported everything. Then I got cars and they wouldn't let me park those cars outside my house. They kept photographing my cars. I always had to have someone sitting in my car. The one time I went upstairs, the father on the kitchen side, he slashed my car tyres. Everything was reported, but the police never do anything. And so a car came and parked outside on the other side, where the other neighbours are, who harassed me on the balcony side. And it was identical to my car. And I said to myself, I wonder if something will happen to that car. So I hid my car for a few weeks. Made them think it was my car. I just wouldn't drive my car through the square. And what happened? They smashed up that car. And I know that was my eyes open. This is how far they're going to go. So somebody round here got their car smashed up. A silver Hyundai. Anyway, that wasn't my car. So yeah, they're evil people. And then on top of that, the house on the other side, near the parked cars, they arranged for me to get knocked over using the help of those on the other side. So I got knocked over, got their photo, number plate and everything. Police closed the report because the owner of the vehicle said, we've never lost our car keys and we don't recognise that person coming out of our car or driving away. So they closed the report. But little did I know, 3 years later, these nasty people who were shouting up harassment, they come into the square laughing in my face. And the police couldn't open the report because it'd already gone 3 years. Okay? So now 3 years passed. And in those 3 years, I've had to endure them staring at me and looking like they want to plot something else. And the last one was to come out at night when I got out, chasing me down on a bike. Little Miss, who shouted out the window, whore, the sister of the fat one that stands in Wellington Square and sells drugs all day, doesn't go to work. She, trying to think that I'm going to chase her and do something to her, I just left her to go, all in her rain mat, up to the neck. Probably trying an acid attack, but that didn't work. So anyway, why I want to thank these little bastards is because with all the reports, the police gave me what they call a hate crime number. That entitled me to bid on any property I want and have it. So anyway, this beautiful house came along. A 2-bedroom detached house, not semi-detached. All by itself with no connecting walls to any property, and it has a big back garden and a driveway fit for at least 4 cars. And it's all mine. And I'm not going to give you the location, but I want to show you what kind of wicked people can elevate you. Stand firm with the Lord and trust that no weapon forged against you shall prosper. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, these evil people came and kicked the door downstairs. I'm 2 flights up and they're on the ground floor. Always wanted a ground floor property, but look at that. I'm now inheriting a house. But they came in and they sat downstairs and they smoked their ganja on the stairs and they were digging knives into the walls, showing me the knives, threatening, intimidating, and they'd break open my letterbox and take my mail. And even went as far as to try to pretend that they were a debt collector, knocking my door trying to explain the letter, but I recognised the faces and left them out there with my letter. Now, what makes me sick is how evil these people went, how far they went. The man knocked me over, come back laughing in my face into the square, you know, calling me bro, that I look like a man. Oh, how do I look like a man when we are the most beautiful people on the earth? I mean, if we were not, you'd think after the slave yard, why would everyone queue up to want to date a black man? Because we produce beautiful sons. We are beautiful. Everybody knows it. So anyway, cut a long story short, the racist woman that was dating one of the men that was stealing out my letterbox as a family, shouting up nigger whore and go back home and they come here and they get everything from day one, and calling my son a perverted black bastard age 14. Well, that white man that was walking her over to my letterbox to steal, she had 2 kids for him. And you know what? He tried to stab her. And they broke up. And guess where she ended up? Up the road. She found a black man to take her on with the 2 kids. And he now planted his seed into her. And now they have one dark-skinned baby. Blacker than mixed race. I think God was teaching her a lesson. Because you know what? She ended up being a single parent. Now she has the 3 kids. And the one very dark so-called mixed race, which is not mixed race, that baby is black. Because there's not many mixed race that come out that dark. And I believe that God made sure her baby was dark, you know, so that she would endure what it's like to have to bring up a black person. Because she's a racist with a black baby. I'm so glad she's on her own, because she's still fat and ugly. And now she's let down her own community. Nobody will take her on. That low self-esteem man that she picked up to get that black baby, well, he soon learnt that she's nothing. So anyway, so now she's on her own, marching around with her 3 kids. It must be really embarrassing. Anyway, leave her to it. What goes around comes around. And I hope somebody steals out of her letterbox so she knows how personal that is. Her boyfriend who tried to stab her, that made her run to the black man, well, he went to prison. And now he's back trying to say he wants to stab me. And he's the only one left. He came from that house across the road, which was full of racist people. And in the time that he went to prison, they all dropped dead from a heroin overdose where they sold their drugs. So the house became vacant. And a nice black family took it on. So I don't get that shouting no more. But the neighbours welcomed back Anthony from prison. And all of a sudden, these monkey sounds started coming up again, making these monkey sounds like they're in the fucking zoo or something. I don't know why they focus on our beautiful skin. Longevity, beautiful skin. Well, anyway, cut long story short, I got the points under a hate crime number. And now I've been given a house that's fit for at least 4 cars in the driveway. And I'm going to let you see that house. I'm going to do a walk-through video from going into the house with my door keys right round the house, because I want to show you horrible, jealous neighbours that although I live in a brand new flat now and I'm the only person who's ever lived here, and that's why you started on me. You shouted out, they come here and they get everything. You spoke about me like as if I came off of some aeroplane and was offered a brand new house. I was born in England. I've worked for England. I've studied in England. Educated. Yes? British passport. Birth certificate. England. Doesn't matter if I've got black background. I was born here. This is my country, Great Britain. Da 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 da. You haven't woken up yet, obviously. You can't change this world. You're very hypocritical people. Because anyway, teaching that Anthony a lesson, when he came out of prison to find that his woman's now got a black baby and that there's no coming back, that's got to hurt. That's really, really got to hurt. Good. I'm glad he's in pain and his whole family dropped dead. Anyway, well, I got the last laugh after all, because when him and his friends set me up to be knocked over, I got a large payment. My solicitor talked me into it. I didn't think I'd get anything. Why? Because I didn't get a scratch or a broken bone. If anything, I had a little bruise on the stomach because I was hit in the stomach. But I overcame that. Do you know? And my manager at work, because I was working at the time when it happened, he said you could have time off of work, and then I never came back. I applied for PIP because of my deep vein thrombosis. I was turned down. In fact, I was appealing for up to 3 years. And then I won. And they back paid all those 3 years. And I became almost rich. For me, I felt rich. I mean, truly. I felt just like I could buy anything. But I couldn't go on holiday because they targeted my house. So I haven't had a holiday since all of this. But I have been driving some nice cars. And all the jealous neighbours couldn't believe my rise. I got rid of a horrible boyfriend. was no good for me, didn't elevate me in any way, and I ended up driving better cars than him. See how the things can turn around? And my enemies, the majority of them died of a heroin overdose. That gave me a little bit more peace. And then, what happened to that other one that called me a whore from the kitchen window with her fat brother working in Wellington Square all day long, selling his drugs from the doorstep? Well, she got married and then she got divorced, and she ended up with 3 kids. And now she has to come for Sunday dinner every Sunday in her mummy's house. I guess she's still wearing her diapers. A child having a child. She wasn't mature, you know. She should never have had that kid. She was too immature. And anyway, this world is not designed for young people unless they're rich. Because once you tell them you have a partner, you lose even your one-parent benefit. So you don't get much money for the kids. So there's no point in rushing to get 3 kids to get a bigger house from the council, because they're not catering for you. They'll let you stay in a 1-bedroom and get bunk beds, and one of you go to the living room and make a 2nd bedroom out of that, because there's a shortage of houses. But these evil people, when they saw my house on Home Swappers, me trying to get a move, I photographed every room. They were downstairs, the mother. You think that she would have something positive to say. Instead, she's joining in with her nasty, harassing kids. And you know what she's saying about my lovely balcony? Oh, ho, ho, look what she's got to leave behind. Well, bitch, I want to tell you that stupid semi-detached that you're parked up next to, your cars, well, it's a rubbish house. It's not even a house. Basically, you live in an estate. An estate on the ground floor next door to your neighbours. That is not a house. You can't call that a house. The only bit that resembles a house is your back garden. The rest of it is just a joke. Because when you see my house, that's when you're going to know that the Lord elevated me, because you were there shouting about my pictures on Home Swappers. You were shouting about, oh, look what she's got to leave behind. Basically, you thought I was going into a dump because I was being harassed. You knew I was trying to move. And so you wanted to show off my photos to everyone, going, oh, look, she's got to leave her hallway, how nicely decorated it is. And look, she's got to leave her 6-metre balcony. With all the grass. But you know what? All these things are mobile. I'm going to be taking, not the grass, I don't want it because of all the ants. I'm taking all the green ivy. I'm taking the 12 hanging pot plants, yes? I'm taking the lot and the 2 planters at the side. It's going to look bare when I'm gone. And the fact that I'm getting that nice big house, you know you helped me get it. Because when I took down my pictures off of Home Swapper, it's because I didn't want strangers coming in my house that might be your friends, phoning up saying they'd like to view my property. Under harassment, it's not safe. So I got my help from the Guinness Trust through the hate crime number I was given because of all the harassment you and your friends worked together. Knocking me down, thinking you got away with it because the police went to the house and they said they didn't know the driver. They didn't even lose their car keys. They shut the report. You thought I wasn't going to get a penny, but my solicitor was good. He worked on the photos, the evidence, and the mild bruising in my stomach. Bruising, you know, nothing lacerated. No lacerated liver or kidneys, you know. But I got paid out a nice substantial amount of money. And that with the PIP, after winning my appeal after 3 years, I just became a new elevated person financially. And now I'm being given a big house with a massive front. You're going to see it when I put that key for door. I'm going to turn my camera to my house. I'm going to start recording. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk backwards so that you see me coming in from that driveway with my camera high up like that. And I'm going to be walking backwards. And you're going to just say, wow, is she going in there? And then you're going to see the door open. And I'm going to show you the whole of my house. Yeah, I'm going to show you inside, back, front, you name it. And you're going to see that my house is better than yours. And that I didn't leave a 2nd floor flat while you harassed me on the ground floor. I didn't leave a 2nd floor flat with a 6-metre balcony. Brand new, first person to ever live there. for you to laugh at me because I wasn't going to leave until I get something better. And now I've been given the best house. The best, you know, something that I know you would have wanted compared to the house you live in. And it's not a house what you live in. As I said, you live on an estate with the hood rat people that resemble your own son who stands on the doorstep all day selling drugs, making the lives of everybody in Wellington Square a misery. If it wasn't for me, your son would still be out there stinking out the square. And now that everybody knows, he stopped smoking on the doorstep. Yes, and he thought he could continue quietly working, but that's not working. Because now look, he's up in his bedroom depressed. He's probably waiting for the day for me to move out so he can start his drugs run again. But you know what? This video is not going to allow him to. No, he's not going to sell drugs in Wellington Square. He's not even going to come back down once he sees this video online. I don't need to call your name or your door number name. But at least everybody knows about the drugs that are being sold in Wellington Square and which house it's coming from. All I have to say is it's the fat son who stands on the doorstep all day, doesn't go to work. Yeah, and everybody knows who I'm talking about. You don't know where I live, you're not going to be able to bother me. I just want you to see my house, how beautiful it is. How much you elevated me by getting me that crime number for knocking me down. Sticks and stones, you've been all cussing and calling me everything under the moon. Calling my son a perverted black bastard. Calling me the whore. Even rounding up a whole bunch of kids from the adventure playground to all shout out whore at the same time. Oh, pathetic race. And one of them that was the ringleader dipping a dirty piglet hand into my letterbox. The dirty swine. Has now got a baby for a black man. How embarrassing is that? Her white man left her with 2 kids, and those kids are still at primary school. They're not even at secondary school. And now she has 2 white ones and a dark mixed race one. One that you could just look at and say that's a black baby. God punished her and her black man walk away. I won. I got the compensation for you lots knocking me over. I won. I got 3 years throwback from my PIP where I won my appeal. I won. I can have any car I want. I got the highest rate. Look at me. Living in Great Britain. Living the life that some people only dream of. You're still getting up and going to work every day. Remember when I was working round the corner? When you lots harassed me outside my workplace and my job was only a 4-minute walk. You were jealous because of my uniform. Jealous that I was coming out the house under all the verbal harassment. You couldn't wait, you had to get physical. None of you can manage me. That's why your friends calling me a man. How am I a man when the whole world loves black men? We produced them. I don't look like no man. I don't look like no man at all. Yeah, I had this same argument down at Better Gyms. One white guy was harassing me on the machines, walking, and I'd only been in the building for about approximately 40 minutes, and I didn't spend a full 20 minutes on each machine. I was onto my second machine when he approached me again, and we have about 30 machines in that building. I said, why do you keep coming up to me and saying how long am I going to be on that machine? There are 30 machines in here. I've just arrived. It's less than half an hour I've been in the building, like about 40 minutes I've been in the building. This is my second machine I've chosen to go on to. You was there at the first one and now you're here at the second one. Why are you harassing me? Can you go over there and ask that man over there that's on the machine how long he's going to be? And when he moves out of courtesy like I did, then follow him to the next machine 5 seconds later and ask him again, how long is he going to be? I said, you can't do that. You're doing this because I'm a woman. He goes, what woman? You look like a man. I said, I look like a man. I bet you if you strip me down naked, I look like a woman. But if I strip you down, you don't look like a man. I said, you're just being stereotyping, saying black women look like men. I said, what's your problem? It's because you can't pull black women. And you're jealous because our sons can pull your daughters. Yeah? Our sons that we produce, beautiful men, they can have your women. You have to share your women with our men. And that's something that you thought you had control over, but you can't. You have to share your women with our men. And he didn't like it. I said, because in your pants you've got nothing. That's why you're bullying me, because you hate black people, because you can't control black men. So now you're going to have a go at a black woman because you got problems. Same with Stephen Lawrence. You see a good-looking black guy that just want to stab you up. You know? Or if you're black, your life worth nothing. Let's sit on your neck and snuff your life out like George Floyd. I'm fed up of white men saying that black women look like men. I've heard it in so many tones. The guy that you got to knock me over, what did he say? I didn't see you because you're black. And then he said, what you looking at, bro? Calling me bro. You racist white men make me laugh. What's burning your ego is the fact that you can't pull black women as quick as a black man can pull a white woman. That's your problem. That's what pisses you off. Why would we want a man that's built like you anyway? You're not built for black women. Yeah? I'm going to let you know that now. I want a man with definition who doesn't have to go to the gym and push weights just to have a little bit of muscle. Yes? I don't want that type of man. Weak as fuck. With a small little dick. I want a man with a good definition. You know? Proper. Well endorsed. And stamina. You ain't got no strength. You're weak as fuck. Anyway, we're the pedigree. You are the mongrel. Now, let's go back to where you have elevated me. Okay, I know you hate my skin, but really, deep down, you'll do anything. Even if it means carrying my picnics for some time just so that you can gaze on that brown skin. That's all it's about. Jealousy. Jealousy and longevity. Where's the crow's feet? Where is the crow's feet? Show me the crow's feet. I don't see no crow's feet. Do you? No. Oh, I don't want to tell you my age, but I just want you to know that I haven't had a no Botox operation, okay? I do not have crow's feet. There are no crow's feet on my eyes, okay? Can you see them? I don't see them. I don't see any crow's feet. So don't be telling me we look like crap, okay? Don't be telling me that. We are beautiful people. Yes, the women are beautiful, and you're not going to play around with this pedigree. No mongrels coming to play with the pedigree. I'm elevated. I'm a woman. I'm black. I'm the first of many. The one that God made. My middle name is Eve. Yes, I am a child of God. The first. Okay, when God made man, he made him a woman. And that woman looked like me. He's not going to send me in the world without my space jacket. This is a pure skin that you cannot buy. It protects you from the sun. It's melanated skin. It's even plump. It doesn't wrinkle very much. It doesn't. We just look fine. We look great. Okay? So anyway, cut a long story short, with all your hate about black women look like men, go to hell. Anyway, you elevated me, you feisty cunt. Because you know what? I got the most beautiful house. And when you're there talking about my home on Home Swapper, you're jealous, ugly, fucking Frankenstein face screwing up every time you see me like you've done anything. You know what that screw is? It's a fake plastic smile out of vexation. Because I get to move and leave a crappy, when I say crappy, I've had such a horrible experience here because I never got to feel at home in my own home from day one. Yeah? I get to leave the second floor flat, which I might have rotted here had it not been for you. I might have had to be like the woman underneath me and stay here into old age, trying to find a reason to get a one bedroom because maybe my son has left home, trying to find a reason to get a move because we're not splitting up and, you know, I need a 2-bedroom and they don't want to know. You don't have a problem. There's 2 of you there and so you got to stay. No, it's very hard to get a move then, unless you're on Home Swappers. But who wants Home Swappers when somebody's watching your house 24/7? You tried to break in one Christmas. Broke up all the concrete outside. Thank God I had the security gate. So they closed the report because nobody got into my house. There's nothing that they could do. So even if I thought I knew who did it, there's nothing they could do. Nothing was stolen. And recently you've tried to get somebody to come round here pretending to be the man to remove my gate. Fucking cheek. How dare you? Try to make out like you're helping with the move. All these boxes I've got packed up because of you. You make me laugh. There's no fucking way. No fucking way. I'm leaving this crap place. I'm leaving it. All the doors that you love so much, the glass doors leading into the back garden that you wouldn't let me enjoy my balcony. Well, my dear, you only elevated me. All the money was in the bank. I had problems with the social as well because they said I had so much money that I wasn't entitled to the benefits to a certain degree, you know. And so, you know, what can you do? But when I get out of here, I'm going on holiday and I'll be able to park my BMW outside my house. I've even got a van for my son. So he'd be driving to work. We're not going to lose out on nothing. God elevated me enough so that we could hold it together. Yeah. And that silver Hyundai that you smashed up, thinking it was my car. Ha ha ha. What a loss for you in the community. Everybody knows what you've done now. Everyone remembers my beautiful dog that you probably poisoned because she died unexpectedly. Yeah. Vomiting everywhere. But you know what? God punished you, and that's why every member of your household dropped dead. They all came out of that house in coffins, one after the other. Within the space of 5 years, you lost 3 people from your drugs-fueled home. Think of that. And I'm not laughing because God will turn around the sin on you. I've never laughed at your people. But you know that day I had that music going loud while you was having your funeral? Because I wanted to show you that every time I stepped on my balcony, you racially abused me and cussed me. On that one day, you had nothing to say because you was in mourning. And because you was in mourning, I wanted to show you that you hate me, and so I'm not going to mourn with you. I'm not going to laugh at you, but I'm going to show you that in my house I'm happy. So I turned my music up. You saw it as disrespect. I saw it as me just getting on with my life and having a good day while you were having a bad day. That's the difference. Did you see me smiling? You saw me nodding my head to the music and my face was very stiff. But it was enough to kick you so fucking hard because I wouldn't keep quiet on that day. Why should I? After you cussed me so much, that was the day to turn my stereo up, and I did. I made sure you heard it loud and clear. I was not going to keep quiet because you were sad. We don't share the same life. Just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean I have to have a bad day with you. If you were my friend, I might have felt something for you, but I had no connection to you that day. I did not feel your pain. I just knew you were going through something. Anyway, so you arranged for me to get knocked over. But you didn't win. Why? I didn't get a scratch. You didn't get to throw the acid at me like you planned. You didn't get to destroy my work. Because as soon as I left that place because you knocked me over, under the grounds of not feeling well, yes, and the fact that I have elements like deep vein thrombosis twice in my left leg, yeah, I was able to get time off of work. And it was during that time off of work that I won my appeal. Because you can work and get PIP. And because for 3 years they kept saying no, the back payment was so huge. Trust me, I couldn't have got a break better that time. So I wanted you to know that you elevated me. You did not destroy anything. When you took that dog off of me, and I know you did, if you feel good about yourself now, you feel like shit. You know why? Because had I had to keep walking that dog in the evening and in the morning, you would have had more opportunities to attack me. But that didn't work. Didn't work at all for you, did it? No, because then I was safe at home. And when my man left, you thought, she's all by herself, we can get her some more. No, because I was on the highest rate PIP, I didn't even have to leave the house. I was just ordering all the food and taking my time, and only went out when I felt it was necessary, like to a doctor's visit or to visit some friends. And all the time I'm hiding my cars, even when you found my garage. The funny thing about it is I had so much money in the bank that I could just get a cab to my car. I don't have to walk. I see you got your eyes on my £3,000 Brompton folding bike. You're not having that either. So your stupid friend who's coming to cut the gate off and pretend that he's come to remove my gate, everybody knows what you're up to now. It's not going to work. But anyway, stay tuned because in the next let's say in the next 7 days, you're going to have my walkthrough video. Yeah, that's going to be nice, isn't it? You're going to see my new house and you're going to know that I left this second floor balcony flat that you were screaming out on the top of your voice downstairs. Look what she's got to leave behind. Like I'm going to lose out and be rehoused in some shitty old place, you know. Shitty like fucking be depressed and be thinking, oh, my nice house with the glass doors in the kitchen and the big large 6-meter balcony is gone. Oh dear, I've been harassed, I've lost a whole lot. You really thought so? This house is to burn your soul till there's nothing but ashes. To know that you elevated me. You got me all that compensation through my solicitor for knocking me down. You've done so much for me. I can only thank you. Thank you, enemy. Wait a little while and your enemies become your footstool. All that you stole out my letterbox, my potato peeler, my tile whitener, my box of perfume. You didn't get nowhere, my key ring. Ugh, you got so much to come for you, mate. Me leaving this house, it's like a lion let out of a cage. All I can say is thank you. I'm going to have all that freedom and my driveway. See how beautifully big it is. Wow. I can park a boat out there. Big. I'll be able to just step out of my house, straight into my car, and then straight down to the shops. How about that? Freedom and peace. My own letterbox on my door, you know. This is just going to be so beautiful. Relaxing in my own garden, in my own house, you know, not semi-detached, my own detached house. Praise God. No weapon forged against me could prosper. No weapon forged against me shall prosper. How's that? And all that about the footstool. I have waited so long and now I've got my breakthrough. And I just want to thank you one more time. Thank you, haters. Thank you for the money, the free money. Yeah, and the rest. I entered God's rest. The blessed always entered God's rest because he said, your latter days will be better than your former days. And it's true. My life is actually getting better. And, you know, as for my family who watch this video, who don't talk to me in Archway, I don't give a shit about you. You abused me as a child. And the police know everything. You couldn't take all that happened to you through that crime report. All the interviews under pressure. You didn't like any of the truth. But you know what the Lord told me? The truth shall set you free. And when your enemies fall, ye shall see it. And I've seen you down in the dump for a very long time. And not one of you could rise me. Look, financially, I'm better off than all of you. Every single one of you family members are poorer than me. Can you imagine that? Oh, wow. Don't forget, it wasn't long back I just got my inheritance from Gran. So I was laughing. I've been steadily getting thousands and thousands over the last year since 2007. I've been rolling in my own cash. Now I'm elevated and I'm leaving. You're never going to see me again. I'm not inviting any of you to my new house or my life. I don't care if you exist. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me. You're a rotten family. None of you could support me in anything. And now you're all going to be left alone. And my son doesn't want to know none of you. He's mine. That's my true family. One that I've produced. Remember the two that you put in the grave? Beat me up while I was pregnant? You call yourself a grandma? You call yourself a mother? And you call yourself a brother? And my uncle, you call yourself an uncle? And my auntie, you call yourself an auntie? And my nieces? And my cousins, you're all rubbish. I'm so glad I'm out of your rubbish family. I'm so glad God elevated me higher than you so that you know I don't need you and that I'm looked after by the Lord. And all you strangers out there, neighbours, full of shit, and bless the ones that were good to me. God bless them. Pressed down, shaken and overflowing. Let them receive the same multitude of love and blessings that I've received because they deserve it. because you put those people there to strengthen me. And in Wellington Square, there's some beautiful people out there, trust me. I've met them. And they make a difference to Cali. Yeah? You're just a miserable bunch of other people who probably live on the story of Ben Kinsella crying all day long. Look what the black community's done to us. We ain't done jack shit to you. Just because one black person fails, it doesn't mean you have to hate all of them. You know? I've seen you lots being racist towards Muslim people too. Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. You need to drop that attitude. Just because somebody bombed the World Trade Center, it doesn't mean all Muslim people are bad people. I love the Muslim people. Not because they're oppressed people, because black people are also oppressed. And many Jews are very much oppressed. Right now, Palestine is oppressed, downtrodden. I love all the oppressed people, like the Lord said. He's there with the broken-hearted, the broken-spirited, the downtrodden, the broken-hearted, the displaced, the depressed. He's with those people. So if you're against those people, you're going to hell. Because God said, love your enemies as you love yourself. Okay. No weapon forged against me shall prosper. Or my family. Okay? And I'm still blessed and beautiful. Look at that. After everything I come through, I look great. I'll look great in the mornings. I'll have time for my makeup. I'll be planning so many things. I'm elevated. I'm going forward. The yoke, the burden that I was carrying has been broken and lifted off of me. My breakthrough is here. My blessing is over my life. And I plead the blood of Jesus over my life and over my son's life and over my new home. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I thank you, Lord, that you made my enemies serve me. You meant it for bad for me, bad people, but God meant it for good. He gave me that blessing. Like I said, pressed down, shaken and overflowing. Hallelujah. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.